Does taking the knee achieve anything towards anti-racism? Watch this video. Hello, welcome to the channel. I hope you're all well. So this last weekend for football fixtures in the UK, soccer if you're around the world, the Premier League teams, the football players were made to take the knee before the game started in an act of collaboration, an act of community cooperation towards No Room for Racism campaign, which I think is absolutely right. There's no issue in terms of the campaign for anti-racism or anti-genderist or anti-persuasion in whatever form, okay? Live and let live, that's all I say. In fact, football stadiums, football grounds around the UK, well, for the most part, over the last sort of 25, 30 years, most of this has been completely wiped out. There isn't really this going on. Yes, occasionally people do say things, and especially in the Premier League with CCTV, where they're monitoring the crowds, usually the people who say these things towards players, let's say, they get lifetime bans, or sometimes they get charged by the police as well. So these people are found out. But for the most part, if you're in a football ground and you say something that's racist or something like that, then most people around you they'll turn and look at you and have to say, "What are you doing? What are you saying these things for?" So for the most part, there isn't this big call. There isn't this big need for this anti-racism amongst football fans. However, when we're talking about the wider community, especially on social media, where people feel the need to express their negativity or express their hate or say things that are just completely outrageous, then yes, there is a need for a campaign. But in terms of around football, then you think, okay, I'm not 100% convinced. However, I do acknowledge it is still there amongst certain people. But the point is, does the act of taking a knee at the start of a football match, does it have any impact whatsoever? Does the person who's making these racist comments, let's say, on social media or in a crowd somewhere, do you think they really care whether a bunch of football players are taking the knee, whether it's going to have any impact on the way they believe things, the way they think about things? For me, it just doesn't work. When we had all these anti-racism things going on a couple of years ago, after the incident in the United States for the police officer, of course, a lot of that was translated over here in the UK, and it was, Black Lives Matter and all that kind of thing. Okay, fine. That's what you want to do, but a lot of people in the UK, especially most people, say, well, around the world, say, well, actually, come on, it's all people. All people's lives matter, of course. It's not just black people or brown people or Asian or Korean or whatever. It's all people. But it was kind of hijacked, and it kind of hijacked the sentiment of a lot of people. This came into football, and football players were being forced to take the knee ahead of a football game for No Room Against Racism. So the general idea was sound, was okay, was no problem at all. But it was just the method that was being used. Now, after a while, what was happening in football stadiums, that football fans were just getting fed up of it. We're just getting saying, hold on, this is not happening here. Why are you taking this knee all the time? Was something that happened in the United States. For a start, that was the trigger for all this. Whilst there are race issues, of course, and prejudice and everything in all societies around the world, of course there are. Nobody's denying that. And nobody's saying that there's, this is a trivial issue. It isn't. But the point is, many people in football stadiums were starting to boo when footballers were starting to take the knee, because they thought this is having no impact. You're taking the knee for no reason here. And it's, you've made your point. Just stop it now. Let's do something else. Have another campaign. And this is what happens when you have something that is being influenced by another agenda. And then you think, well, actually, what are we doing here? What is the point here? They stopped taking the knee. Then all of a sudden they thought, okay, we're going to reintroduce this now for this weekend of fixtures of No Room Against Racism. Now, a couple of players here and there didn't take the knee. And I noticed that many football stadiums, there wasn't any booing going on. But I can guarantee if this continued over the next 2 or 3 weeks, 4 weeks, yeah, people would be. They'd be like, come on, what's going on here? You're taking the knee, but it has no impact. So why take the knee in the first place? This is not anything to do against any kind of strategy against prejudice or against racism, which I think there should be in place, and we should all be working together, and we should all be, living in a harmonious society, whichever part of society you come from. But the point is, these token gestures don't really do anything. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you like what I do here, well, just keep on watching the videos, and I'll catch you again. Bye now.